Welcome back to Real Estate Resource TV. Now here in 2013, the real estate market continues to be hot. And a lot of people actually have some of the same questions as they had before, which is what type of purchase is right for them? We're lucky enough to have Tyler Freed with Windermere Real Estate join us. Tyler, how are you?
I'm doing good, Ben. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. First of all, let's just kind of explain the differences between different types of purchases. Because with the lack of inventory that we continue to see here in Seattle, a lot of people still have the question, is it a bank-owned that's best for them? Is it a short sale? What's the difference?
That's a good question. So let's kind of start off and just explain, what these short sales are and versus what the bank-owned homes are. So a short sale is these guys have experienced some type of hardship. Maybe they pulled out money at the top of the market in 2007, lost their job, death of the spouse, something like that happened, and now they need to sell because they can't afford their home. Obviously, the values in 07 were a lot higher than they are now, so there's a difference between the price. So they're gonna try and short sell their home before their home goes to auction. And in doing that, they have to get the lien holder, maybe it's Chase, maybe it's Bank of America, maybe it's Wells Fargo, to approve that difference in the price. They basically have to eat the difference and kind of go from there.
And that can take kind of a long time. I mean, we've seen them take anywhere from 30 days to 90 days and beyond.
Yeah. And you're lucky if they last, if you can get them closed in 5 months. I mean, I've had some take 11 months to close. So it takes a long time to get those to go through. So they're trying to beat the timeline before the home goes to auction. And then if it goes to auction, that's when you hear about your buddies buying a home at the court steps or whatnot. And then if it doesn't sell at auction, it goes back to the bank. And now you've got a bank-owned home, an REO home, or a foreclosure home. So that's kind of the difference between a short sale, pre-foreclosure, versus a bank-owned REO.
Tyler, is there a significant difference in the deal that you can get between these different types of purchases?
Well, national stats say that you can get a short sale about 88% of the price that you can get a normal resale home from Joe and Barb selling their home down the street. And then a bank-owned home, they say 81% of that. But we're starting to see the bank-owned prices creep up a little bit for the first 30 days or so, and then they're making that significant price drop.
So does there tend to be pros and cons? I mean, if you're a buyer and you're out looking for a house right now, what should somebody really consider? Because certainly that timeline, I think, could scare a lot of people who maybe need to get their kids in school or have any other type of deadline.
It definitely takes a special, patient kind of buyer for the short sale because you never know when you're actually going to get into the house. And another thing to think about is you never know.
That's got to be stressful right off the bat.
Yeah. It's really stressful to them because you're not knowing what's going to happen and your current living situation comes into effect too. But also with the offer of the price, some of these are listed a little lower than the bank's actually going to approve. So you think you've got this home all lined up for $350 when really the banks would come back and say we want $390.
Yeah, and certainly not knowing the time frame, not knowing how much it's going to cost you or when you can move in. I mean, that's not for the weak of heart, is it?
Right. And then I always tell clients when we sit down and do our buyer counseling session to make sure to know that that's going to be one of the challenges with buying these short sales, but go after these bank-owned homes. You can close them in 30 to 45 days. The prices are discounted. The banks are starting to go in there, paint the interior, put some new fresh flooring in there, and they're just better deals.
Yeah. Well, Tyler, thanks so much for joining us. Most people are looking for that good deal. It seems to be one of the most important things when buying a house. We'll be seeing you next time on Real Estate Resource TV.